Hello, my name's Ellis Saxey and I am a super keen, super relaxed fantasy club attendee, so I'm missing you all very much and I'm missing the space and I'm hoping to see you all in the flesh in the future. And in the meantime, thank you so much, Phil, for organising these little mini readings. I had to put the bookcases in because I know how much I enjoy looking at other people's shelves, so this is adult fiction and it's alphabetical by author mostly, so if you just want to pause the video for a minute and judge me, be my guest. I also write fiction, and I'm delighted to have a short story in the Best of British Fantasy 2019. That's edited by Jared Shuren, and it's coming out in June from Newcom Press, 30th of June. So, my short story is currently online and free at the Corvid Queen website. I'm going to read the first half of it. It does contain some swearing, and it's set in Wales, but I am not attempting a Welsh accent, and I think that's all you need to know. And it's called No Children. My unmarked, tatty white van carries the two of us along the coastal road. Not seaside, scrub grass and wind chill in no man's land. It's best to be cautious, so I let the van stutter to a stop in a lay-by, some distance from our client's house. We skulk there, between heaps of bramble bushes, until my phone pings, and a moment later a red car shoots past us in the opposite direction. "Was that Mr. Jones?" asks Bronwyn. "Better hope so." Our client's house is a modern white bungalow, flimsy as a holiday cottage, not sturdy enough for the weather we get round here. I noticed the lead flash pulling away from the roof tiles. I'm a builder, but we're not here to fix the house. That would be simpler. The sea is in an extreme low tide, a twisting white ruffle right on the horizon. Bronwyn, my cousin and my painter, sighs as she clambers from the van. It's so much easier at high tide. She buttons her overalls across her wide chest, hiding knitted roses. I hop into my own overalls, turning us both into nondescript grey tubes. The tide will be back in by midday, I tell her. Will we not be done by then? What about that wet room job in Carmarthen? I don't think this will be quick. The husband built this house. The shoddy bungalow could hold a lot of secrets. That's why we need your Marie. A chugging roar tells us our final crew member has arrived. Marie, Bronwyn's kid, halts her much heftier vehicle and leaps down onto the grass. She's got purple hair, which makes her overalls look pretty punk. "Where's the husband off at then? Where the fuck is the sea gone?" Bronwyn tuts at the swear word. I don't mind the swearing, but I could do without the tutting. "Husband's just left for a family funeral," I tell Marie. "Other side of the Brecon Beacons." Marie whistles. "That's stone cold, that is." "Got to make sure they're out of the way," says Bronwyn. "Learnt that on the port call job." Bronwyn has a habit of mournful reminiscence. "So he just comes home and bam?" Marie asks. "He's had his chance," says Bronwyn. Marie's been working with us for a year, mostly tiles and plastering, but this is her first side job. I'd wanted someone young on the team. Bronwyn and I are nearing 50 now. Our clients are younger. That is to say, our clients look younger. "No children, though?" Bronwyn asks. "Oh, so are you like the heart of the operation, ma'am?" mocks Marie. "She's also the common sense," I say, "and I'm the muscle. So I don't know why we brought you along. And no, there's no children." "What's the legal position then?" asks Marie. "If there's children, what about the dad?" Bronwyn fetches her tools to avoid the conversation. I lower my voice. "The legal position is he can fuck right off out of it." Our position is only legal in as far as our side jobs are so wildly improbable. We don't go mob-handed to the house, in case there's still company. We wait until the door opens, and the wind snatches it and slams it back against the wall. Is this Mrs. Jones, her ankle-length dress flapping in the wind? I've not yet met her. When she comes close to the van, I'll see her face, and I'll know. "Don't you stare," says Bronwyn, elbowing Marie in the ribs. Then she sighs. "Oh, Sal, it's so soon after the last one." You know I don't pick the dates. Our clients come in an uneven trickle, through the women's refuge in Swansea, through a network of barmaids. My phone number ends up in the hands that need it. And the last one was hardly any trouble. It's not the attention I'm worried about, Sal. She nudges me with her big shoulder. It's you. You're not as tough as you think you are. Family always want to take you down a peg. Mrs. Jones pushes against the wind as she walks. I move to meet her. Bronwyn is half right in that this job has come sooner than I expected. Most clients call me 3 or 4 times before they set a date. Sometimes when I call back, the client pretends not to know me. I have to have the patience of Job. By contrast, Mrs. Jones has been frighteningly decisive. One phone conversation to set the date, and here, close enough to touch, is Mrs. Jones. She looks no older than Marie, maybe 20. Her eyes are inky and wide, almost circular, her hair slate, grey and glossy. You're Sal? She asks. That's me. I smile. Behind me, Bronwyn will be smiling too, and she's better at it. Mrs. Jones holds out one arm in invitation. As we cross the patchy lawn, young Marie is silent, perhaps for the first time since she was born. Last week, when I explained these side jobs to Marie, she asked, "How do you know they're not ordinary housewives, just pissed off at their blokes?" Now Marie has seen Mrs. Jones and the sheen of her skin and her bottomless eyes. She won't ask that again. We tramp across Mrs. Jones's threshold in our dusty work clothes. I never saw a homeowner less bothered than Mrs. Jones. I suppose we may be the last people she ever welcomes into her tasteful modern kitchen. I catch Bronwyn surreptitiously checking the fridge for kids' drawings, soft-hearted, and she never takes my word for it. I also spot Marie placing thumb and finger on the metal knob of a cupboard door, starting to unscrew it. I kick her, and she stops. Does her mum know she's bloody light-fingered? What happens first? Asks Mrs. Jones. We look through all your storage. Sometimes that's enough. I've searched. It's always in the last place you think of looking, pipes up Marie. Sometimes our clients back out at this point, particularly the ones who've been married for longer. They flinch at our mucky hands, rifling through their belongings with no promise of success. Even half a life is worth keeping. We'll be careful, I tell Mrs. Jones. You don't have to be here. You could wait in the garden. That scruffy garden, clinging to a saline incline. Mrs. Jones stays. Searching the drawers is the most distasteful part, shoving aside bras, mementos, bills marked final notice. I prefer to search the impersonal spaces, like the gap under a chest of drawers, the inches behind a wardrobe. The places that kids find when they play hide and seek or hunt treasure. Marie is small and bendy enough to wriggle right in under the bed. Her questions, muffled, keep coming out. Couldn't she leave him anyway? Even if we don't find it? That's not how it works, I say. Do you want to go up in the attic? Look there. Marie holds up a bedside photo on the way out. He looks like a Weasley little scrote. She's a good-looking woman though, eh, Auntie Sal? She tries to wink at me. Don't start, I say. And don't pocket the kitchen fittings. I was just trying to see if they were proper pewter. We can't risk you gleaning. We get away with this line of work because our crimes are too strange to report. Stealing is ordinary. Stealing will bring us down. Bugger off and check the attic. Left alone, I fish with a long, slim stick in the cavities of the built-in bedroom set. There's a snag, a tug of resistance, and I work my hand in deep. My fingers tingle, brushing something warm and firm and supple. A figure moves between me and the window. Jesus, is it Mr. Jones? I jump back, yank my arm free. Mrs. Jones stands silently beside me. Might be something back there, I say, keeping my voice level. On the third job I found something this way, and now I always let the client pull it out. It felt indecent to touch it, and it was hard on my heart to pass it over. Her arm is longer than mine. When she brings her hand back out, between her fingertips is an ordinary heather-covered jumper. She flicks it away like a dead thing. Marie bellows down through the attic hatch. "There's nothing here! Can I rip up the insulation?" I look to Mrs. Jones. Mrs. Jones nods. I hurry back to the kitchen for the next stage. With Mrs. Jones's permission, we set crowbars to the kitchen tops and lever them off, prise the sides from the fridge freezer cabinet. "He's done it shoddy," scolds Bronwyn, "all spit and glue." Not much dust, though, I notice. House proud Mrs. Jones must be, but she stands coolly by and lets us peel her house like a satsuma. While I work, I watch her. I see a family resemblance in her snub nose and the short upper lip. Then I look away before I get caught staring. When I broached the subject of this job with Marie last week, I asked, "Do you know about the other jobs? What your mum and I do? Is it smuggling?" "What?" "I reckon it's illegal and you go down the coast road to do it. Never up the valleys." She's sharp as a whip is Marie. When I explained, she asked, "Do you ever just punch them?" Meaning the husbands. "No." "I would." "Not if you work with me, you won't." "How do they think they'll get away with it?" "I don't know. You know, the factories closed and the women went to the cities where they could get work and the men turned to the sea. It's a fairy tale that my aunties told me. I'm surprised to hear it coming out of my own mouth." "They can turn to a sock full of liver," suggests Marie. "Stick the knob in that." What can you tell a teenage girl about companionship or wanting a family? But why would I argue that you can build a family on an act of kidnap? Thank you very much. The rest of this is available at the Corvid Queen website. And yeah, hoping to see you all very soon. Hope you have everything you need in the interim. Good afternoon.